Good afternoon. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central. As I get right home with you in the afternoon, you can find us on the radio, icradio.media. Television, you can find us on Charter Communications, Channel 182 on Charter, and Abundant Television, which is syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. Again, thank you so much for watching. So I have an article right here I found on familyhandyman.com, and I think it's really pretty awesome. A lot of us are talking about keeping our homes safe from burglars. People are going to break in and try to take your hard-earned things that you've just worked really hard all your life for, and there's always somebody out there who wants whatever you got. So we're going to talk about these. These are hacks, they're do-it-yourself hacks that are for a theft-free home. So let's just go ahead and get started. And this is one I hadn't really ever thought about, but it makes a lot of sense. And this one, you can secure your points of entry, and because it's the easy fix. If it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a little bit hard to do. People are less likely to want to do it. So this is a good way to take care of that entry point. So the latches on most double hung windows are no match for a burglar with a pry bar. I mean, they can take that open. But pin locks are an easy solution. So to install one, all you've got to do is drill a hole. If you want to lock the window with a particular open position, and then drill a second hole. These work well on sliding patios too. So I think that's a really good idea. We've got to use our imagination, because and I tell you this, there are things that I will do that nobody else will do. And because I don't think we need to take up for, and I know law enforcement has to do everything the right way, and we need to abide by the laws. But there are things we can do inside the home that will make life a lot harder for that person trying to come into your home. All right, so let's talk about this one right here. This is add a motion detector lighting. So putting a motion detector anywhere to create a theft-proof home, this will deter some people. Now, motion detector lights are a proven crime and deterrent, and standard hardwired models are inexpensive. So if you're running a power supply, if that would be difficult, buy ones that run on solar power, which is just another alternative. Now, one thing Phil did, we've got the motion detectors just all around our house too. So we have, not only that, we have a burglar system set up, which actually shows all four sides of where we live. And then also, again, the motion detector, which the only thing about living out in the country with one is a bird flies by or a hawk or something like that. That's going to turn the light on too. But it still helps you to be much more aware of your surroundings. Now let's talk about this one. And I've probably seen these in the hardware store, just didn't know what they were. But these are tamper-proof screws. So your locked shed seems more secure, but an experienced theft can bypass the lock by using a screwdriver just simply to remove the hinges and other hardware that could be exposed with screw heads. So instead, consider installing the Allen head screws, the Torx head or a hex head cap screws instead of the standard Phillips head screws. And then that way they're not going to be able just to simply unscrew the lock, and there they are. Now you can also order these, and they're a different kind of security screw, which is what you see right there. See that one? It looks like a little star with something kind of in the middle of it. So you can special order those because, criminals sometimes, I mean, if they would spend their time on things that could actually be great for the society instead of like trying to rob people of things, we'd have a much better world. But these are tamper-proof security screws. They require a special removal tool. Just make sure if you install these, you don't remove your tool, okay, or lose it. And that way, they're not going to be able to get by and break in as easy that way. Okay, now let's talk about this one right here. Secure door hinges. Okay, so shed doors usually swing out so the hinge pins are accessible from the outside. All a thief has to do is pop out the pins and remove the door. So to stop this, buy a pin rod security hinge with tamper-proof pins. You can also retrofit an existing hinge by removing the center screws on both sides, inserting a finished screw through one side and allow it to protrude about a 1/4 inch. Now drill out the receiving hole slightly so that when the door is closed, then the finished screw actually head engages the other hinge. That way, even if the hinge pin is removed, the door won't be taken off before you can go on ahead and move ahead. So, I mean, that's just another alternative right there. Things we just don't think about, that thieves do think about because that's what their business is. Okay, let's talk about installing alarms. We use Simply Safe, and I love it, okay? And what I like about it is we've got, I think it's like 10 cameras or something like that set up. So when we've been alerted something has been like the UPS guy delivered something last night. Okay, so our phones went off telling us that someone was outside the door. Then we've also got these cameras attached there as well. And so it's showing the UPS guy, and he was took a picture of the package, and he also put it on the side of the door. And I like that because if I'm not at home, I know when the UPS guy or FedEx or whoever has dropped off a package. So keeping doors and windows locked is your first line of defense, but make wireless alarms your second. Burglars hate noises, so even when a small alarm goes off, it sends them running. So keep in mind that these types of alarms don't provide the same security as professionally installed and monitored systems. Ours is actually professionally installed and monitored, since the wireless devices activate by doors or windows opening, not by glass breaking. And keep the rest of your stuff in your yard safe as well. I'm going to tell you what somebody did. So Mother is crafty, and I'm crafty. So she made this angel out of tin, like you put on a barn roof or whatever. So she made an angel out of it. Can you believe, this is when we were living in Oxford, somebody actually stole an angel? I mean, can't you be at least a little bit sacred? So you steal an angel. This is like somebody that steals Bibles. Well, you probably need it if you're going to steal it. But anyway, just be careful and just try to think ahead, think outside the box. Okay. And but yeah, I mean, even somebody stealing like a yard decoration. I'm into yard art, so I have art all over the place. Most of it I've made, but I don't want anybody stealing it. So if somebody comes by and they want to steal some of my yard art, you know what? They're going to be on video for it. Yeah, I think I need to put something out there. Smile, you're on the camera or something. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, now let's talk about this one right here. These are reinforced locks. And these are things I've seen at the hardware store, just really didn't pay any attention to it. Like you see them at Lowe's all over the time. Okay, so you can spend hundreds on a fancy pick-proof deadbolt for your front door, but that won't stop most burglars. The truth is, most don't know how to pick a lock. They gain entry with one well-placed kick or body slam that slits the door jamb, and often the door as well, so they're going to create more havoc for you, more repairs. Then they just go on ahead and walk in. Now the good news is that you can stop burglars in their track by beefing up your door and jamb with door armor hardware. This hardware installs in less than 30 minutes, and it also features 16 gauge galvanized steel. So you can find these things at your home improvement stores, your Lowe's, and I haven't checked with Walmart.com, but I would think they probably do as well. Okay, now I'm going to give you a couple of series of locks, and let's just see what you think about these. And right here. Okay, so choose locks with thicker shackles. Now, what do we mean by that? So a determined thief with an angle grinder and enough time can cut through nearly any lock. But more often than that, or than not, the thief has a bolt cutter and he's trying to work really fast. Now that's the thing, that see, speed is not on their side when you make it rougher for them, okay? So the thicker a lock shackle, the less it's exposed, the more secure the lock is from bolt cutters. And the kind of locking mechanism makes a difference in how easily a lock can be picked. So this is what you see up here, these couple of locks right here. So the Master Lock Magnum, the keyed padlock, and the Master Lock Pro Series combination both resist bolt cutters. See that? See how that works right there? And again, anytime, if you make them work for it, like you do your kids, you make them work for those high-priced tennis shoes or whatever. If you'll make a burglar work for it, most of them are lazy. That's why they do what they do. Make them work for it, and they'll probably just leave. They'll give up and just go. Okay, now let's talk about this one. This is a deadbolt secure right here. Okay, so add a deadbolt protective device to deter thieves who can pick a lock, reinforce your deadlock. Hold the door firmly in place with a deadlock protective device that slides a lock over the deadbolt handle just to keep it from turning. And I think that's a grand idea. I haven't seen any of those, so you better believe I'm going to be on the lookout for that. Now let's talk about this one right here. It's number 9. Reinforce your door's weak point. So reinforcing your door's weak points, the jamb and heavy-duty strike plate, and extra long screws gives it the added strength needed to withstand a burglar trying to kick in your door. Now, if your deadbolt was installed within the last 10 years, it's probably already reinforced. But to check, simply remove the strike plate. If it's heavy steel with at least 3-inch screws or has a heavy reinforcing plate, then you're okay. So if not, go ahead and buy that Defend Security. It's a strike plate right there, and it's a plate reinforcing hardware. To install it, all you have to do is just remove the old strike plate, then hold the new one in place and deeply store around it. Chisel out space for the new plate, then mount it by driving 3-inch screws through these pre-drilled holes. For a little bit of money, you can get a whole lot of peace of mind, and that's what we all need these days. Now, let's go on ahead before we go into a break with this one. And it's number 10, and install foot locks on patio doors. That's a grand idea. Okay, so patio door locks are easy to pick. Fortunately, there's a way to get the security you need. So this is a foot lock, and it fastens along the bottom of the door and has a bolt that fits into a grommet to hold the door secure. Now, similar lock, the Door Guardian, that attaches the top of the door, and both locks allow the door to open 3 inches without compromising security. Some people just put a piece of board on it. Whatever works for you. Installation takes about 10 minutes. So what you do is screw the bracket containing the pin to the door, then you drill holes and insert the grommets and the track for the pin to slide into. These are things you can do that are not going to cost a whole lot of money, and you're going to have more security within your home. Let's go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching us every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. You can find us on television, channel 182, Charter Communications, Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. You know, another thing that we need to think about, too, was we're talking about how to keep burglars away from your home. Another thing you can do, and we kind of touched on this just a little bit before we went into break. You can just use a plain old dowel. Just get a piece of, like an old broomstick or something like that. And you can cut it off. You know, use your saw, cut it off, and put it right before you go to bed. Just don't forget about it when you're trying to get up in the morning and go feed the animals or whatever. But anyway, just a plain old dowel rod does a lot of work. And just to secure that patio door. But you can also get something that you can put like a little grip on it, get an old doorknob or something like that, so you can pick it up easier. All you got to do is get a screw and put it in, and just, you know, put it some in the middle or on the side. It doesn't matter, for easier grip for you to open up. But that's just an old dowel rod with just an old drawer pull on it. So, I mean, you can do that just as easy as you can anything else, and it's going to keep the burglars at bay. Some people do it on their windows as well. That's a good idea. The only thing about it, you're not going to completely get rid of people like that unless you follow some of the other tips I gave you in the earlier part of the show, because all people have to do is just knock out a window, okay, and then they can take your little dowel rod off. Much harder to do on sliding glass doors, okay? So anyway, that's just another tip. Now, I like this one here too. This is make your own locks tamper-proof. And there's a tamper-resistant system that involves drilling 3 holes and installing bolts to anchor the heavy-duty security hook to cement for a permanent locking system. Now, there's a dome that covers the hooks and the bolts, and the anchor also works in truck beds or other surfaces using fasteners. So if you're afraid somebody's going to steal stuff out of the back of your pickup truck, got somewhere you got to go for a job tomorrow, and you don't have to unload and then load everything back in again, that's a great alternative. So the instructions are really clear on how to do it as well. Purchase a safe box. That's a good one right there. So a safe is a surefire way to secure your valuables. So someone does manage to get inside your house. This is a Sentry safe box. We've got one. It's compact, it's waterproof, and it's fireproof. We think about, what if the house catches on fire? I've got some really important documents I want to make sure don't get burned up in the fire. We keep everything in that. And make sure you hide that too at a secure place where you think nobody will find it. It also, this one right here has a digital lock to it as well. It's compact. Now install the wall safe or cylinder floor safe by bolting it to the floor. Now most safes have holes inside just for that purpose, so hide it in the corner of a closet or just an area where you think somebody's not going to look, or you can mount the wall safe inside a wall and cover it with a photo, cover it with a picture. You need one anyway. I mean, just in case of a fire. Again, you got those important documents. Some people save a little bit of cash. We don't have enough to save, but save a little cash and put those in their safe boxes as well. And some people have the great big ones like for gun safes and, you know, just for bigger type items. But this is a small one, but I would definitely bolt it, because what good is it if somebody walks in and they can just walk out with it? You know, so you've got to think about those things as well. Okay, now let's look at this one. This is a lock box. Now, I've worked for companies that had lock boxes. It's a good one, and they're very inexpensive now. They went way down in price. So hiding a house key is risky business. So clever or lucky burglars sometimes find the hidden keys. And insurance companies may refuse to cover your losses if there's no sign of an enforced entry. You know, they say that somebody just used the key and went on in. So what you need to do is screw it to a fence post or your house, just in a spot that just, you know, you wouldn't think of. but don't use the short wimpy screws provided by the manufacturer. You want to use the bigger ones. So there's a crook that could pry off the box. Take it home, patiently saw it open, and then come back to your house and open up your doors again. So instead, use 4 10-inch by 2-inch screws, preferably in stainless steel. This is where spend a few more pennies and get the right thing. Okay, so it's going to really pay off if you'll do that. Oh, and another thing, people, the rock idea. Okay, so people will buy looks like a rock. Okay, the thieves are wise on that. So many people have done this in the past, and they've probably even done it. First thing I'm going to do is look around and look for a fake rock, and then I'll open it up. There's your key in it. So be really careful about those fake rocks. They worked years ago, but now they're wise on it now. That's the deal about criminals. You know, they're going to get wise to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the next one, and right here, install security cameras. Not enough can be said about that. They're on camera, you got them. And this makes me wonder, because you see some of the crime shows and they'll show somebody at a bank, and the bank has like the most terrible looking cameras. You know, of course, Biden couldn't be caught. Those white substance went into the White House. I don't know what kind of a security system they have, but I just know that ours didn't cost probably near as much, I would say, as the security cameras in the White House in Washington, D.C. You can get great cameras now, and also have those sent to your cell phone like we do. Now, this is a 3-camera package that you can get at Blink Wireless, and it requires AA batteries and a Wi-Fi connection to operate. You can cover a lot of square footage in your home, with each device featuring a built-in sensor that's triggered by motion. And by detecting an intruder's movement, the alarm goes off, a notification actually alerts your smartphone, and a short video clip of the event uploads to their cloud storage. You can even integrate the security cameras with Amazon Alexa enabled devices. Now, ours actually saves to the cloud as well, and that's another thing I like about mine. I'm going to show you something. Let's go ahead and put this down so I can show you really fast. Okay, so we have Simply Safe, and what I love about this security system, again, you can see the front door. Let me see if I can find the one of the guy last night. And this thing now, it catches everything. So it also, like when one of us leaves and we lock the door, it has that on it as well. And let's see, was this the one right here? Okay, so this is where Phil went outside to get our cat. Front door on this one, and see, it's loaded, and it shows you, like right here is, I don't know if you can see it too well or not, but I can make it bigger as well, so you can see that. There we go. So this is at night. I don't know if you can see it. That's the front door. See, it even makes noise. You can hear the front door lock. And let's see if I can find our FedEx guy when he delivered. We were having dinner, and so he came as well. Let's see. Is that not it? Is it that one? Sometimes Phil doesn't know I'm watching him. Like when he goes into the dining room, we can see him as well. Okay, here we go. And I'm not sure how plain this is going to be, but you can see this on my camera. It's really good, and you can see where Phil actually opened the door, and he went and got the package. So the FedEx guy, we saw him driving off. So this is just a good thing to have, and it doesn't cost very much per month either, and it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it for the peace of mind that you're going to have as well. Okay, let me go ahead and get started back again. I'm talking too much. Okay, now let's talk about this one. And I'm going to kind of go through these just to make sure I get every one of them in. Add a peephole. If you have a door like it has no glass to it whatsoever, add a peephole. It's worth it. So never open a door unless you know who's on the other side. Now, a peephole lets you see who's there, but entry doors don't come with peepholes, and a lot of peepholes are so tiny that they don't really clearly show you who's out there. So strangers could hide slightly out of view or appear to be so distorted that they're hard to identify. So this is a viewer right here. It's called the Sumacon Safety Door Viewer. It has a 220-degree view that's going to keep you informed. So you can see like all around the perimeter, not just right there at the door, because they could get down below it. They can see the peephole. They know it's there. So they could get down under it and you think, well, nobody's there. Where are they? And then you open the door and they're going to grab you. So this is worth getting right here. It doesn't cost very much either. Okay, let me keep up with the time. So this one right here is use a secure mailbox. That's important. Mail theft is, I mean, it's growing. I know I've sent gift cards to Brad and Larissa before, and nothing happened. It just got lost in the mail. But you always wonder every time you send a gift card, does it get to the destination? And they're easy targets. So one way to keep thieves from stealing your mail, your checks, your credit card offers, and personal information is to use the security mailbox. Now, once the mail is dropped in, you'll need a key to open up the box. Just screw it into the wall or post as you would with any standard mailbox. And also, like I've mentioned on several other things that we've talked about, make sure you don't use the screws that come with it. Okay, but the screws that come with these are like what, 2 inches? That's not enough. Anybody can get a pry bar and get that thing open. Go invest in bigger screws. Now make sure they fit the little hole that it's in, or drill holes that are big enough as well. And it's going to be worth it to have the longer ones. And also, I'd go with steel. Don't go with anything less, okay? It's worth it to spend a few extra pennies to make sure you got the right thing done. Okay, now let's talk about this one right here. And swap out your garage door remote. And you're wondering, why are you talking? Okay, so a thief who breaks into your car can use the garage door remote on your visor for easy access into your home. This isn't just a problem when your car is parked in the driveway. The registered card in your glove box also gives a crook your address. So instead, use a keychain remote and take it with you every time you leave your car. The wireless remote is compatible with most major brand garage doors, and its compact size easily fits into your pocket, and it won't clutter your keychain. Now let's talk about this one right here. It's secure the overhead door. Some people lock the overhead garage door when they go on vacation by unplugging the opener. And it's a good idea, but physically locking the door is even better. An unplugged opener won't stop a burglar who has entered the house from opening the garage door from inside, backing in a van, and using the garage as a loading dock for their plunder. So make a burglar's job more difficult and time-consuming by locking the door itself. If your door doesn't have a lockable latch, drill a hole in the track just above one of the rollers and slip in a padlock. And then we're going ahead and here to the last one. And this is install an adjustable lock for the air conditioner. Okay, this is extremely important. We had a store, and we had 2 employees who were involved in this little scam. And so they knew where the air conditioner was. It was on the bottom at a store we owned in Boaz. And they kicked open the air conditioner, and that's how they got into the store. So if you have an air conditioning unit, which we do, and it's fixed, so trial attorney David Clark cautions readers. Air conditioning units are not only a target, but having an air conditioner unit removed from your window creates a highly vulnerable access point into your home. So with that being said, an air conditioner guard cage can help secure a window-mounted air conditioner, preventing criminals from stealing your unit. At the same time, make sure you fit an air conditioning window lock to the bottom of your window and lock it in place. And this is it's a real handy security bar, and it also has different sizes. So if you have a small one, it fits. If you have a big one, all you have to do is extend that rod, and that one works as well. Okay, that's it. I hope your home is much more secure with these tips. If you only take 2 of them, it's worth it. Okay, so I want to keep you safe, and I want everything that you work for needs to be yours and not stolen. My name is Donna. Thank you so much for watching Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth does matter. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.